Hey, we live, we live, we live, we live, we live. FlyNubianQueen.com. Listen live anytime and log on. Let me get it right. How y'all doing out there? It's been a long time. No, it's been a weekend. FlyNubianQueen.com, FlyNubianKingTV.com. Listen live anytime and log on. If you don't have that app, you know what to do. Oh, no. So listen up. Text Queens to 31996. Make sure you keep it live and stay in the mix. I am your host, the rapping professor Aaron Smith, and this is a conversation that needs to be had. First, to put it in proper historical political context, because it seems like, hey, what's good, Laverne? Nobody's making the connection. I just want to read you something a little bit, just so we can get it started off the right way. Because I'm going to teach you why history is best served to avoid all research, as Malcolm says. Let's do this one here. We're talking about the slave Bible. Y'all familiar with the slave Bible? I know y'all familiar with the slave Bible, but I just want to give people understanding either way so they can make sure they have it the right way. This whole notion of redactions needs to be put in its proper historical context, because it's been a long time. I'm going to read it from right here. Okay. No. Listen to the numbers on this right here. It says up to 90% of the book was removed for the purpose of manipulating these enslaved Africans. The so-called slave Bible on loan from Fisk University was at what they called the Museum of the Bible at the time of the article, right? The Museum of the Bible had it on loan from Fisk, and it says this slave Bible excludes 90% of the Hebrew Bible or Old Testament and 50% of the New Testament. Its pages included, quote, servants be obedient to them that are your masters, from Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Look at me. Was I covering that? I'm wilding. But you can hear me. Page also, it says, and missing is the portion of the letter to the Galatians that reads, there is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. It's a small set of scriptures whose title page reads, parts of the Holy Bible selected for the use of the Negro slaves in the British West India Islands. Parts of the Holy Bible selected for the use of the Negro slaves. So there's a long history of people editing stuff, redacting stuff, changing stuff around, and trying to feed it to the masses of people as acceptable when it's simply racist revisions or redactions. Let's get down to business. Mr. Barr, if he was alive during the time of Nat Turner, would have been a religious remixer, a religious redactor, but now he's Attorney General or something like that, right? See, you got to put it in this context. Who do you think was misconstruing things back in the day? If William Barr went back in time, he'd be hovering over some Bible trying to trick some Africans into accepting their servitude. Nobody said it like that, right? Well, I'm here to say it different. So we need to look at whether people need to go based on historical precedent. Some of y'all remember 1974, Ron Ziegler, Nixon administration. He had lost public confidence the same way that Sarah Huckabee Sanders, right? Sarah Huck, right? So now she's going through that same type of thing where the people are like, we knew you was spinning, but we didn't know you was just straight lying. That could said countless people. She talked to countless people in the Bureau about the Comey fire, and they were all in favor. And the boy said, countless? Remember the boy in the press junket was like, countless? She was like, yeah. He said, what do you mean, like 50 or 60? Then she got, in the Mueller investigation, had to testify under oath. She was like, well, when I said countless, I meant not enough people to count, meaning not one, no, not one, like the lowly Huckabee. No, not one. No, not one. You lied. You lied, but then you lied, but then you testified, right? At least you do in that order. That's better than you testified and you lied. Then you're like, Wade Robertson or something. You did you lie then? Did you lie now? No further questions, Your Honor. And you just go take your seat. Right? So the question is, Miss Huckabee, right? Can I call you Huckabee? Did you lie then? or you're lying now. So it's better to lie than to testify and then lie. Because if you try, then you might get perjury as your reply. Okay. Text Queen to 31996. Stay in the mix. Like, subscribe, and share. Do that there. We don't be like the sellouts, right? I always say. What I say, the sellout handbook. I ain't even gonna get started. Oh, yes, I is. If I could put black in a bottle minus the color and sell it to others, I'd be one rich brother. If I could put black in a bottle minus the color and sell it to others, I'll be one rich brother. Them suckers stay addicted to our style and swagger, but ever so careful not to link it with Africa. Fronting, they front you more than you can imagine. Just know that you need to leave your soul as collateral. Speaking all the truth, I have them blackballing you. I'm already black, so I'm getting at all of them. Big economics could possibly bring big drama for those that are slow. Yo, more money, more problems. More European, more feminine, more fake. You are this wicked system gonna offer you more cake. Exalt you on a pedestal, hold you up all great. Then leave it up to real ones like me to shoulder the weight. But for real, I'm built for this here, dear, okay? Only death can stop a true player from getting paid while they stay afraid, standing all shook. For all y'all, I brought their brand new handbook. It's the sellout handbook to sell out shows for those that sell their souls, talking about them selling O's. The sellout handbook, they papers up because of what they taking up. They listen up, it's rough. Others be thugging, talking about guns and honeys cutting in clubs and about the grams they cutting, yapping about packing, how they ready for action, shooting but never for revolution, only for stacking. Keeping more black men backwards, stuck in traffic, on the path to dash to Attica or they casket. They tongues a gun, they aim it at the crowd and spray it. Cash for stupid trash, might as well be Marlon Wayans. Coon and buffoon in front and hard, but you scared. Look, I know your ways, okay? I read your handbook. Or laughing when it ain't funny. That's how other sellouts getting money. They always show their teeth. Stay a slave in your boat. You afraid to make waves with your quotes. And so you hold your peace. Please, they psychologically tortured you, is aborted, discarded, and never spoke of like Brenda having her daughter, famous for finding fortune despite the shame that they call and they lie and deny the awkward reality of they poison. Boy, it's a slow, silent killer. Living lies for Skrilla. You paralyzed, wishing deep inside y'all was realer. You paralyzed by fear. You scared and shook. And for all y'all, I brought their brand new handbook. I only got one piece, ain't got a whole day. So let's skip to a list of things that they'll never say. Hey, nation building, Marcus Garvey, Black Power, Bob Marley, Martin and Malcolm Farrakhan, and Dr. Asante. Poor righteous teachers, 5%ers, Harry Belafonte, Jesus the Christ, and nicest Osiris Muhammad Gandhi, Ramona Africa, Tutankhamun, Haile Selassie, Dominicano, Latino, or Caribbean, Muslim, Prince Hall, Stokely Carl, Michael, y'all all understand. Look, rip up their handbook, the sellout handbook. What profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? People know. Holla at your boy, rapping professor. Text Queens to 31996. Stay in the mix. FlyNubianKingTV.com, FlyNubianQueen.com. You want to get your business right? FlyNubianBusiness.com. Get your money right? FlyNubianMoney.com. You want to get your shopping popping? Then ShopFNQ.com. And if you want to comment, and I live that's what we doing over here. What do we say? We don't use the word Bible. We call it scripture. I don't know. It's called the Slave Bible. I can't change what it's already called. It's called the Slave Bible. Yeah, it's called the Slave Bible. And what it is parts of the Holy Bible selected for the use of the Negro slaves in the British West Indian colonies. That's like the whole black, more African, Afrocentric, Hotep, Marano. Like, we talk about the same people, right? 9 times out of 10. Sciencing. The great Dr. Maleficent Asante calls it sciencing. When we get so into the nuance of language in particulars, that it creates what Dr. Dr. Jeffries calls the paralysis of analysis. So I feel you. I get what you're saying. I got you. But for the sake of argument and to make the point I'm making with regards to Barr being disbarred, it's of little to no significance, in the larger debate as far as removing some of these people from positions of power. That's what I'll say. So yeah. So but we need an organized push. I've been pushing. Possibly I need the help to create a really effective watchdog group. A lot of peoples on the planet have numerous watchdog groups. The second something happens, just where to send it. Like, why are we getting videos every day of police brutality and we still send it to the ACLU alone? I'm not saying don't send them nothing. Some people got good lawyers out there, deal. NAACP alone. No, there should be like 50 groups on point, ready to get people fired, face recognition software, the whole nine. When we look at them tiki torches or we go to the Charlottesville video, we should be able to be plucking people out the crowd. Oh, he work at Rite Aid. Oh, he work at the White House, right? And we should be able to be like, because Black Twitter do it all the time. By the end of the day, Black Twitter be having people without a job. You talk real reckless online and you go viral, by the end of the day, they be like, we have disassociated ourselves with the person in the video. We're not saying they're guilty, but we are saying they don't work here, right? So we see what's working. Black Twitter got more people fired than most of these civil rights organizations. Ooh, you told the truth. But no, you just take a hint from when people are doing right. Take a hint, right? Black Twitter is on it, getting people fired. They say it's about the birth rates. They're afraid of being replaced. Right? But we know it's about systems. It's about power. It's about finance. It's about population, right? So what better way to oppose somebody than to replace them in their job? You don't like the president? What better? What better? What better way? See, this is a different mentality I'm giving you. I'm not giving you a perpetual protester mentality. I said that this thing is like a game of Jenga and we chopping at the bottom block. This bottom block banter right here. Bottom block banter right here. I didn't like the way they was teaching the class. They was lying on African history. Look at me now. Hey, look at me now. Hey, I'm getting paper. No sign. Oh, no. A sign is a warning. A sign, right? I'm not giving you no signs. I don't want you to know. I want you to think it's okay. That way I can strike harder, get you out of position. By the time you realize it, it's too late. That's the best war, right? One without firing a single bullet. Why waste all that energy and effort? Why let you know I'm coming? I'm like that. Oh, Christopher Columbus, he's a great guy. Oh, you think so? Oh, George Washington, never told, honest Abe, oh, that's okay. Oh, never told a lie. Oh, George Cherries, cherries. Nothing about slavery? Okay. Early retirement, coming up. Now, if that was the mentality of the masses of people, they'd be in trouble. Everybody be out there trying to either start their own business, grow their own food and eat healthier, get law degrees, learn about self-defense and weapons, and engage with the political process in a way that we can leverage it. Like, people will be doing different stuff. People will be like, yo, I heard certain people got a land of their own based on something happening in another country for 6 years. Something happened to us here for 246 years. We have a precedent. So if Israel's this big, how big should it? This is bottom block banter. You're talking like they talk. You either shift the paradigm or you shut up. This ain't no, I don't like that. No. I'm saying get Barr out of there, never to return to a seat of power. If that was a summary in a third grade class, the person would have got an F. So Barr got an F. It's a 400-page document talking about 14 additional names that were redacted that he gave to other agencies that he felt was worthy of investigation, in addition to the 30+ people already indicted or pled guilty or been, in addition to the 500 people questioned, in addition to Sarah Huckabee Sanders just getting snared, as of recent with, come on, Cletus. Come on, oh, Cletus. You're going to lip back, right? Come on, Cletus. Let's talk that talk. If you want to be a public figure and you want to manipulate public perception with some Orwellian 1984 doublespeak, and you want to call something a summary when it fails to summarize even the portion that you alluded to in the summary, you didn't even effectively summarize that, let alone 400 pages in a couple paragraphs. You failed. And most times, if you fail at your job, you are relieved of your duty. And he did the same thing we already read last time. We talked about 1989, back around the time he was working with Mueller. Whole different story, right? But 1989, he was with the FBI extradition situation where were they able to go into these foreign lands and grab these people without the permission of the government of these foreign lands. Like Manuel Noriega was part of that whole thing in their pursuit of Noriega at the time. And he gave a summary back then. He said, expressed, the base and the principles and all that. And he said the same line with Trump. At least use a new lie. So you telling me you've been lying since 1989? It ain't time for you to go? I'm not. People, well, what's redacted? Well, how much can we read? No, get him out of here. Ain't that how they do us? One mistake. can't, man, this whole cancel culture been in effect for black people since before lynching. Emmett Till, a rumor, one whistle, murder you, a child. Tamir Rice, 0.2 seconds, live if not less, didn't even fully get out of the car, murdered in a park for playing with a toy gun. Guilty and charged with the death penalty until proven innocent. Guilty, and the price is death until proven innocent. So unless I get my ID out and they can run the plates and realize there's a glitch in the system, if they run it and it bloop, 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 I might be down on it. And if I just normally say, hey, what's going on here, and reach the wrong, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom on your black, like seriously. And they don't care about this ID. They care about this ID. It's first people on the planet ID. This dominant genetics, if miscegenation takes place, the whole planet will be brown ID. Shout out to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing with the color confrontation, the ISIS papers, and the theory about genetic annihilation, when she expounded on the work of Dr. Neely Fuller. Like, we talking about that ID. That ID that people are scared, even though they have the lethal force, and you sitting there with a steering wheel in your hand. Why are you scared of me? But we got to get to the root of these problems. Bottom block banter. See what's really going on, what your real problem is, and then say, hey, either you're going to get with the human race and you're going to jump on board and be human, or you're going to ride this honorary whiteness thing out when you used to be Italian, you used to be Polish, you used to be German, you used to be Jewish, you used to be everything else. You exchange hundreds, and in some cases thousands of years of ethnic and cultural history and identity, landmass, language, flags. You exchanged all that for privilege and power in a system that codifies people by color. So you need to get off that train before it crashes. You say it's riding smooth for a while. All white suburbs, sundown towns, the Head Right program, free acres of land. Let's get into that for those who don't know. Let's go. I'm gonna tell you why there should be less tolerance for people like Barr. At this day and age, if anybody's lying to black people about America, if anybody, man, that's like somebody being in the public sphere just calling black people the N-word all day. White person call black people the N-word. What job can you have where you can do that? It's a new day. That's what I feel the same way about. You should be able to get up at a podium and just totally misconstrue. The Head Right system was originally created in 1618 in Jamestown, Virginia. It was used as a way to attract new settlers to the region and address the labor shortage. With the emergence of tobacco farming, a large supply of workers was needed. New settlers who paid their way to Virginia received, ready for it? How many of y'all know what they received? Let me give a test question, pop quiz. Pop quiz, who knows? Head Right program, what they received when they came over here. What's the number I'm looking for? The Head Right system, who knows the number? 50. The number is 50. They received 50 acres of land just for making the trip. They received 50 acres of land. I got college students that I talked to. I'm going to go talk to them later on and tomorrow. I had one person in the class of 250 people who even knew what the Head Right system was. How do you vote on issues of gentrification and housing and racial politics if you don't even know that some people got billions of acres of free land just for making the trip? 50 acres of land, Head Right program. The Head Right system. Individuals who could afford it would accumulate land by paying for poor individuals to travel to Virginia. So you could pay for somebody else to travel over here, then you get the land, or you split the land. In the 1600s, the cost was roughly £6 per person, or approximately $215 today. This system led to the development of the indentured servitude. So you could bring them over here and they work for you. This is deep. In this system, poor individuals would work for a certain number of years to repay those who sponsored their trip. So I would have you work for me just making a trip, and then I keep the You wonder how people, when you ride down south, how these people got these farms that it takes 5 minutes to drive past one farm. You see one house and all this land. You be like, how'd they get all this? It's a lot of bootstraps they picking up them. Plantation owners definitely benefited from the Head Right system when they transported enslaved Africans. Many families grew in power by receiving many acres of land. One landowner purchased 60 slaves and received 3,000 acres of land in 1638. So you get some people to be, I'm going to say that one more time for y'all, because a lot of people don't realize how the wealth disparity got to where it is, where the average white family has $100 in wealth, until every black family's $5 on average. Elizabeth Warren just was talking about that statistic like a week ago. For every $100 in wealth they got, we got $5. You got to ask why. You got to do the knowledge. One landowner purchased 60 enslaved Africans and received 3,000 acres of land in 1638. 1619, we was here. You telling me less than 19 years later, you got people getting 3,000 acres of land. I bet you if we look up the name of that landowner, I bet you it's a popular family today that's still in power. No doubt about it. Ain't that much crystal meth in the world to take you out of that kind of, if people mess up the family money. That's right. They still got it. They do. And I think it was Tim Wise said it's upwards of 20 to 50 million families today. 50 million people who benefit directly from it. And he said he thinks one of his families, one of the lines of his own family, Tim Wise, the white anti-racist activist, he said one of his families benefited from it. He said nobody ever came back to the government saying we got to give this back. We didn't get this fair and square, he says. He says, because if we keep this, then it'll be like socialism. He said nobody says that. Only when it's for black people, it's an entitlement, it's a handout. But when you give that much money to white people, he said that's nation building. So I said, I see what you're doing. I see how you're playing. I'm not getting caught up in it. Head right program. Which one? Let's keep this party going real quick. FlyNubianQueen.com, FlyNubianKingTV.com. Text Queens to 31996. Stay in the mix. Like, subscribe, share, hit that button, right there. And make sure you get your money right, FlyNubianMoney.com. And I walk through it a lot when I shout it out. But I need to do more than shout it out today. Today I'm going to read it up. We're going to read up on it today. Homestead Act, signed into law by President Abraham Lincoln on May 20th, 1862. The Homestead Act encouraged Western migration to provide settlers 160 acres of public land. In exchange, homesteaders paid a small filing fee and were required to complete 5 years of continuous residence. So all you had to do was live there, give a couple dollars, and the last one, the Head Right program, gave 50 acres of land to each one, right? This one, the Homestead Act, right, almost, what's this, 200 years later? Yeah, 1638, I was quoting. Now I'm in 1862. So this is for over 200 plus years, white people getting free land by the acres, by the hundreds of thousands and millions of acres of land. 160 acres. And all you had to do was pay a filing fee. Can you imagine if you can go down and file today and get you 160 acres of land? If you go file today and get you a half acre, if you can file today and get you a lot, how much advantage you got? A lot. How much privilege you got? A lot. Oh my goodness. Let's do how much? Homestead Act gave away how much land? Maybe we do a pop quiz. How much land can you get? No, that's just the 160. I want to see the total. Anybody got the total? And the second option, the Homestead Act, you can purchase the land from the government for $1.25 per acre after living on the land for 6 months, building a home and starting to grow crops. Because they keep talking about the pioneers were so courageous. They traveled westward in their what's it called? Little house on the prairie cabins, or, little wagons with the, man, whatever. It was being underwritten. Can you imagine what I would be doing if somebody else was paying? If somebody else was paying for you to do it, there's a lot that you would do. Lots you can get done. So there's this mythical notion of bravery and chance taking, the Wild West and the great unknown and the pioneers and the great frontier. Davy King of the Wild Frontier. Ain't nothing wild when the government got checks coming. Y'all was welfare babies. Y'all was all a bunch of welfare queens. Davy Crockett and the boys probably welfare queens. Ronald Reagan in 1970, he would act like, 86, he would talk about the welfare queen. And just like, no. We got the image of the welfare queen. Homestead Act. We can go to Social Security in the first 30 years of that. We can go to the GI Bill not being extended to African Americans. At one point, in some areas, 90+% of those GI Bills given to white soldiers. We got black people getting lynched in their uniform. We got redlining with this quasi-federal agency gave disproportionate value to white neighborhoods and devalued black neighborhoods at the same time. You got stories like in the Atlantic magazine, The Case for Reparations by Ta-Nehisi Coates, when he follows the man from Mississippi where he was under the threat of duress and coercion and ethnic intimidation to give up his farm, end up trying to get out before the racial terror that defined the time took his life or one of his family members, and he moved to Chicago, but he couldn't buy the apartment because the other people had to buy the house and the apartments and then rent them to black people on contract, and the black people end up paying 2 or 3 or 4 times over for the house, hence the birth of the slumlords. What he called plunder, this history of plunder, continuously taking from black people as you traumatize black people, as you miseducate black people. So when you got somebody in front of black people talking about, I summarized it, I say, no, it's a new day. William Barr, don't he look like he part of Bernstein? William Barr look like he part Bear, you know. I'll be waiting for he better to Care Bear stare. But get his cousins to come stare at him to find his heart. No, but he must think we can't read. He knew the report was coming out. He thinks this is still 1629 and he can just say what he wants. Like, these Negroes can't read, I'll just say what it says. The Bible says that your wife should be my wife. And your children should never be chilling. That a flat butt is beautiful and a fat butt's not suitable. Let me stop. Until I find out technology that can help me look like you, then I'm getting spray-on tans and butt shots. The benediction, please. I'm Aaron Smith, the rapping professor. That just scratched my nose. That was nasty. Text Queens at 31996 to stay in the mix. You gotta be real. People don't resonate with the fake no more. You know, all that stuff, all that. Hi, boys and girls, man, get out of here with that. I said, sell out handbook. I smile when something funny, and when nothing's funny, we don't smile. I don't care who they. I'll be at work all the time. They say some corny joke, I'll be like this. Like, is y'all finished? Y'all done? All three of y'all. Laughing when it ain't funny. That's how other sellouts getting money. No. Plus, there needs to be a concerted push. I don't know how we properly translate protest into shifts on the political paradigm. But if we could just take all the marching and the sign making and the reactionary, emotional, impulsive responses, if we could just harness that Black Twitter, that Black Lives Matter, and just start to create policy, right? Like a centrifuge, just start to take that and filter all the nonsense out, all the reactionary, emotional nonsense out, and then end up with a diamond of policy. And then have the wherewithal and the networks and the influence within the structure to push the policy through, like the most productive think tanks are able to do. You know, like, we need to figure out a way to really strike foundational blows to this tower of Babel. Marcus Garvey said the whole world is run on bluff. When you look at Barr, you think he like a genius? You think he really smart? You think he got that job? He was just a whiz kid? Is that what you get? He look like a cheese whiz kid. Cheese whiz kid, not a whiz kid. I called the boy Bear and a cheese whiz kid. Winnie the Poop, man. Winnie the Poop. Cheese whiz kid. My gosh. Barr gotta get disbarred. Barr gotta go. Ain't no way you work at the highest courts in the land, highest levels. No. Your summary game gotta be on point. What's that boy name to be doing the stories on YouTube from DC, from Chicago, whatever? He be like, on God, right? He be like, on God. He do a little story, he narrate his own stories. He's like, I wanted one show, this one demo. He tell a whole story. He got the locks and the brother, you know, he tell a good story. Maybe he should take Barr's place. At least he tell a story. He'll let you know what happened. You know, I want to know what happened. What's up with the computer? What's it doing? Tell me what it's doing. I'll fix it. Is it moving slow? Tony Jackson, talk to me. Say something's wrong with the computer. I don't know. When you type it, I'll write it. Write like writing wrong. Text Queens at 31996. Stay in the mix. Like, subscribe, and share. It's making noises. I don't hear it. What kind of noises do you hear? I don't hear any noises. I don't hear it. I don't know. Maybe it's the Illuminati. Maybe we bottom block banging. Oh, it stopped? Okay, got it. That's good. It's probably y'all. It's probably y'all, you know. Prayers of the righteous. But sincerely, I think that we need to call, because they'll do it as a political ploy. Think about this. They will call for somebody's firing just to stall you up. Now you got to answer questions. Now you got to do the press junket. Now you might have to write to your superiors and go through a process. Somebody putting your personnel file in. Like the Republicans back with Obama, they'd be like, fire him, fire him, fire everybody, fire everybody. They were trying to impeach Obama based on Fast and Furious. Y'all forget, they was ready to start talking impeachment when Obama wore that tan suit, even though Ronald Reagan wore one just like it. He didn't make it look the same way. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when Obama didn't have a flag pin and they made that a controversy? Like, if they could do that, if they're just playing the game and being strategic and stagnating people in the rigmarole bureaucracy, because they got to defend themselves now. So that's a whole week. You got to deal with that. Instead of dealing with promoting some policy, you got to deal with damage control. So throw it on them the same way. This is intellectual political Aikido. You make a misstep, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, you got to go. You lied. And then you lied about lying. Then you said slip of the tongue. Ain't no slip of the tongue happened 2 days straight, back to back, 2 times in one meeting, and then another time. No, ain't no slip of the tongue. I'm scared of your tongue. Pause. No, what kind of slip of the tongue occurs 2 days straight, back to back? You telling me you're not just a liar, but you the type of liar that lies about lying and being a liar? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? You lie about lions, or you know, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, lions and tigers! You tried it, you lied. No. What job can you get caught? That's like me saying I get off at 6, but I get off at 8. I tell my supervisor I get off at 6. If I do that 2 days straight, they probably try to fire me. They'll be like, man, we checked the schedule and you lied. And you signed here that you knew you got off at 8. And we got you on video laughing about, they so dumb I got off at 8. They let you go. Working at McDonald's, if I lie twice, and then I come back to my, oh no. When I said 6, I meant 8. When I said 6, I meant 8. It was a slip of the tongue. You see, reptilian, you know, Huckabee Sanders, the reptilian. You see how that could, please. How do you keep a job when your job is to talk and your job is to tell the truth? I gave you an analogy of somebody that might be working on fries. My job could be on fries. If I leave early twice due to my lies, and if I lose my job, I wouldn't be surprised, because that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. But you telling me Sarah Huckabee Sanders could avoid this slander with her untruthful banter? Only thing worse than a redactor is a recanter, and admit she did wrong even after she can't, bruh. We got to tell people to get to stepping. What Mark say? Get to stepping. Why are we sitting back? We so focused on the possibility of some impeachment down the line that we're not going to be strategic? She lied. The pressure should be on. The hashtag should be flowing. People should be calling their senators and their Congress people. Like, where's the mobilization? Bottom block banter. Call your local representative and let them know that you will not stand the same way they let go of Ron Ziegler in 1974. Because that's the thing, too. People say you want to get a lot done, you organize a lot, right? Shout out to Stokely Carmichael, requirement to write, and others. You know, if you want to get a little bit done, organize a little bit, right? So we organize, like on FlyNubianQueen.com and FlyNubianKingTV.com. If you texting Queens at 31996 and you make sure that you all up in the mix, I'm the rap professor, Aaron Smith. See, so right now I'm serving as like a minister of information, saying some things that people say, you know what, you're right. We need to get a local push to get her up out of there. Even if Trump stayed another year and a half, she don't have the same protections. How many we've been through so far? It was Spencer first. Spencer, whatever his name was. Remember, he was like, that was the biggest crowd in any inauguration. He almost laughed when he said it. He was almost laughing when he said it. That's like saying his wife is satisfied. That's like somebody getting him talking about, Melania is happily married. Ah! My bad. Let me try again. Don't smile. Melania He's happily married. No, no, she's not. She's definitely not. She's not satisfied in any way. You can tell, right? She just be the way the way she walks, the way you walking, the way you talking, the way you move it. You remind me, yes, you do. Shout out to Mary. When your wife don't want to sleep in the same bed in the same state as you, a lot of brothers done been on the couch. Let's be clear. Everybody make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. A lot of brothers done spent a night or two on the couch. Now that's one thing, brothers and my sisters. But it's a whole nother thing when your wife in a different state and she's straight. She like, yo, baby, we about to upgrade, baby. We going to the White House. She like, I am good here, Donald. You go. I want to raise Baron. I want to stay for him. He wants to stay. Don't you want to stay, Baron? Don't you want to stay, Baron? Give me a year off. She finally had to move to. Oh, we need to get rid of Barr and disbar Barr. I'm going hard, y'all. Like, get him about. 1989. Let me remind people of the lives, right? Because I know some people didn't hear the first time we talked about this. And I don't know why the mainstream television news, like, they're not talking about this enough. The first time he even got considered. Barr's playbook, that's what they're calling it. JustSecurity.org. Barr's playbook. He misled Congress when he omitted parts of the Justice Department memo in 1989. This is just what he do, y'all. This is just what he do. I'll put the link right here. I'll give y'all a link. It's on a bunch of stuff, though. If y'all want a more popular website, you can get on that too. I'm just giving you the one I got. Giving you the best that I've got, baby. Ain't no problem as long as I'm giving. Okay. Everybody's got opinions about Barr, and if he really looks like a bear. Some folks feel it's just a Bernstein thrill, but I don't think he should really still be there. Okay. On Friday the 13th, I'm gonna play Jason. October 1989, by happenstance, the same day as the Black Friday market crash, news leaked of a legal memo authored by William Barr. He was then serving as head of the Justice Department's official Office of Legal Counsel, the OLC. It is highly uncommon for any OLC memo to make headlines. This one did because it was issued in unusual secrecy and concluded that the FBI could forcibly abduct people in other countries without the consent of the foreign state. What kind of Henry Kissinger stuff is this going on? What kind of butcher of Cambodia, Henry Kissinger? We in Vietnam, but he also in Cambodia, dropping crazy bombs, not letting on, trying to keep it a secret. Even when we peeped it, he didn't go to jail. They should have dug a hole that was the deepest. Henry Kissinger should never have been sitting next to Barack Obama and kissing on Hillary Clinton's cheek. But saw it go. I saw it go. In secrecy, talking we going to other countries grabbing folks. What kind of early dry ice is this? Members of Congress asked to see the full legal opinion because it appeared that this was trying to pave the way for abducting Panama's leader, General Manuel Noriega. So when Congress asked to see the full opinion, guess what happened, y'all? Same thing happened this time in the beginning. Barr refused, 1989, but said he would provide an account that, quote, this quote you might have heard the past 2 months, summarizes the principal conclusions. Sound familiar? In March 2019, when Attorney General, but how did he get back in this position? How do you get the one boy known for lying in these situations back in this situation? That's why I said history is best served to reward all research. If we knew then what we know now, once he even thought of his name, we'd be like, Trump, don't try it. Yeah, it could be LA 1992 up here. Don't try it. Don't try it. Because people just might, I won't say riot, have civil unrest, righteous indignation. March 2019, when Attorney General Barr was handed Robert Mueller's final report, he wrote that he would summarize the principal conclusions. When Barr withheld the full OLC opinion in 1989 and said to trust his summary of the principal conclusions, Yale Law School professor Harold Coe wrote that Barr's position was particularly egregious. Congress also had no appetite for Barr's stance and eventually issued a subpoena. They had a subpoena to successfully wrench the full OLC opinion out of the department. What's different from that struggle and the current struggle over the Mueller report is that we know how the one in 1989 eventually turned out when the OLC opinion was finally made public. Well, now we know both. Well, this is a little bit earlier that this was written. Now we know both, at least with some redactions. When the OLC report was finally made public in 1989, long after Barr had left office, that's always how he liked to roll. It was clear that Barr's summary had failed. I said the first 10 minutes of this broadcast failed to fully disclose the opinion's principal conclusions. Not the full thing, but just the full principle, the main parts, the summary. It is better to think of Barr's summary as a redacted version of the full OLC's opinion. That's because the summary took the form of 13 pages of written testimony. The document was replete with quotations from court cases, legal citations, and the language of the OLC opinion itself, despite its highly detailed analysis. So he's good with smoking mirrors. Oh, he'll give you all the citations. He give you all the smoke. He give you all the smoke. He give you all the smoke. Oh, he give you all the smoke, right? 13, his version omitted some of the most consequential and incendiary conclusions from the actual opinion. Sound familiar? You didn't tell me there's 14 other people about to go down. A couple of them probably named Trump on the low. And there was eventually no justifiable reason for having withheld those parts from Congress and the public. When first asked by reporters about the OLC opinion that Friday, Barr said he could not discuss any of its contents. Quote, "I just don't discuss the work of the Office of Legal Counsel," he said. Quote, "The office provides legal advice throughout the administration and does it on a confidential basis." He hid behind every type of privilege, clearance, confidentiality. Use a bear, bruh. Use a bear, bruh. Use a bear, bruh. Shouts out to Philly, because this old head need to hear from this young boy about this joint. Holla at your boy. We on the back blocks of North Philadelphia, Temple University. Rapping Professor Aaron Smith in the Department of Africology and African American Studies. Everywhere I go throughout the nation, I tell the young people, especially young people that are black, I say, you have no excuse for not at least minoring in African American studies. The time has come where we collectively know our history and don't leave it on the backs of the few. Like the 85% who are deaf, dumb, and blind, trapped in the wilderness of North America, devoid of the knowledge of themselves. The 10% of the rich slave makers and bloodsuckers of the poor. They know the truth, but they hide it from the 85%. Then there are the 5%, the poor righteous teachers of the planet Earth, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet, father of civilization, God of the universe, who understands that the duty of the civilized man is to civilize the uncivilized. So now we need to have a paradigm shift where we have a critical mass. Just like we need a critical mass of people that know their rights. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick. Like we need the average young person, just like when Huey P. Newton was talking about them shotguns and reading them Second Amendment, statutes to them people, talking about, man, we could observe you, in your duty. You're a peace officer. We can have these shotguns. They not loaded. And this is a Second Amendment states and article so-and-so. Like we need that. We need more people out there ready to fight like that. Stop fighting with your voice at the top of your lungs, just straining your throat. I'm not saying it's never a time to scream like Ecclesiastes, time for war and time for peace. I'm saying there's a season for everything. But we can't make the primary dominant form of protest yelling and walking up and down the street anymore. It was a time for that level of symbolism, to make way for people to go into these law libraries, to make way for people to go into these military branches, maybe exercise their Second Amendment right. People had to fight, and sometimes fight and die, so that you can vote, you can play sports, you can ride public transportation, you can engage in military warfare. Like people did it. And a certain segment of us will continue to do it. But I think a critical mass of us who have consciousness and whose consciousness has not been commodified need to have bottom block basic approaches to banging people out their position. Knock the brains out of falsehood in no limited time, right? This is important. We need more young people to say, yo, what Thurgood Marshall do? What Adam K. Clayton Powell do? How did Geronimo Pratt, the famed Panther, come out? It was Johnny Cochran. Salute to the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi and all the black men taking the LSATs and the one they love to call bougie. But when it all went down, the Panthers couldn't get Geronimo Pratt out. No offense. Let's work together. We all got a role to play. No one's valued above anybody else. But let's not knock other people's individual methods of struggle, and let's not have a lack of appreciation for incremental progress, because those are two of our biggest sticking points and problems. Bottom block banter. Don't get mad at me because I'm struggling. Get mad at somebody who's not struggling. By the time you get done with them, you won't have time for me. There's so many people going the other way. You don't got time to get on nobody's back that's going the same direction you're going. I promise you. I promise you. You teaching people to read. You feeding people. You teach people to defend themselves. You teach people knowledge of themselves. You teach history. You do using music therapy and using the music to connect with the culture. Whatever you do, keep doing it. But for the people that aren't doing something, we all need to collectively have a conversation with them to raise them up to a higher standard, higher vibration, if you really want to get deep. A higher, more positive vibration. So we need to give people these stories in a way that inspires them to be the next one. The job of a great teacher is to train their replacement. I want people to want to be lawyers that fight on the side of right. Johnny Cochran got Geronimo Pratt out of jail, y'all. So stop acting like having a job means you're not with the struggle. Malcolm said we need greater degrees of political maturity in the battle of the bullet. That's immature. That's immature. Hey, I got to give it tough love. Oh, man, a secret society, and a secret society, and a secret society. Shut up, man. Dr. King was in multiple secret societies, but he ain't do nothing for us, right? They talk the same thing about Christianity. I'd be like, don't you know that Martin Delaney was a Christian? Don't you know that Marcus Garvey was a Christian? Don't you know that Martin King was a Christian? Like, I understand your critiques of the dogma or the representations or, Caesar Borgia. I got all that. There's no J. I got all that. But you ain't going to baby with bathwater me. That's not politically mature. And no one learns and grows from being insulted. I didn't say held accountable. I didn't say even just chastised. There's biblical room for certain degrees of accountability. If it's not judgment, there's still ways to, address it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you just ostracize and demean what people hold dear and then call yourself a revolutionary and progressive. I know I'm getting deep today. I know a lot of people in here love blasting everybody, but I'm like, the people you blasting, some of them you gonna need. You got at least some portion of the population that you're able to convert or at least be allies with. Even within our group, even within the black population. So you're telling me, if you negate Christianity, you lose Dr. King, Martin Delaney, Bishop McNeil Turner, Absalom Jones, Richard Allen. I said Marcus Garvey, Dr. King. Yeah, you lose all of them. You lose all of them. And the modern day people, whether it be Johnny Cochran, anybody, you lose all of them because you don't know Christians. Asa Hilliard was part of the Boule. Now you don't like Asa Hilliard? Now Asa Hilliard ain't do nothing. He wasn't one of the greatest master teachers. Like, come on, y'all. We got to have a more nuanced approach. People are not baseball cards. They're not two-dimensional, locked in a box and frozen in a moment in time. People are not baseball cards. Dr. Aaron Smith, if you want to repeat it, make sure you cite it right. They're not locked and trapped in a box. They're not frozen in time, and they're not two-dimensional, lacking depth or nuance. They're full human beings. So let's just look at people's actions. You can look at their rhetoric, you can look at their affiliations, but let's properly prioritize what is more consequential. The FBI agents from COINTELPRO joined the nation and joined the Panthers. So if you want to talk about rhetoric, they had the rhetoric of revolution while they helped to neutralize our leadership. And they was members, card carrying, dues paying, getting us killed, members, sometimes working as head of security. Don't play with me, boy. But you mad at somebody in Jack and Jill who's a Christian. Get out of here, man. I got no time for that dumb stuff. What do you do? First and last question. What do you do for our people? You can get in any position, unless you're like a hitman or a pedophile. And if you do the right thing with it, then it can be more consequential than most of what you did to get there. Shouts out to Booker T. Washington. institutions still around. All the rhetoricians that y'all praising, all they doing is shining on t-shirts. I mean, if you love people, you give them tough. Tough love is love. Tough love is love. Every day ain't gonna be a rap and a joke. Because too many people, they swear that they down with the struggle, but they bringing the struggle down. Too many people claim to be down with the struggle while they bringing the struggle down. You're rhetorical, revolutionary, dead weight. And instead of a purging, I chose tough love. I'm an optimist. Let's not get to the point where we think we so smart that everybody else's way is just so dumb. Come on, man. Nat Turner remained affiliated with his faith even after he saw the ways that they were being manipulated. Man, it's how you apply it, man. Dr. John Henry Clark, maybe you don't respect him either. He said, I respect everybody's religion if they practice it right. Who you like, I'll give you the quote. I don't need no notes. You type in the person you think you will trust, and I'll give you the quote. I'll tell you what they said. Don't play with me. Queens, 31996, stay in the mix. Like, subscribe, and share. And I think it's a trick of the enemy. When they say to exaggerate petty division in the COINTELPRO documents, what better petty division had they been you separate? Even Malcolm caught on. Malcolm was like, yo, we need to keep our religion in the closet and focus on these human rights issues and focus on what we deal with as black people. He said, they don't persecute you because you're a Mason or an Elk or a Christian or a Muslim. He said, they persecute you because you're black. Malcolm, guy, how you going to pick up, how you going to start off at Malcolm Little when Malcolm already gave you the blueprint, the black print? Start in a freaking relay. Do you take the baton from where it's handed to you, or do you run back in a half semicircle and redo half of the race the last person did to get to that point? Take the baton from the freaking passing zone and run forward the race marked out before you. Malcolm stopped by saying, not a question of civil rights, a question of human rights. The price of freedom is death. We need political maturity. If a man takes a knife out of your back 3 inches after he stabbed you in 6 inches, that's not progress. You got to take the knife out of here. Malcolm said, by any means necessary. As a man, as a human being, to be respected as a human being in this nation, in this society, by any means necessary. Then they approach the podium. Malcolm doesn't run for his life. Malcolm doesn't squeal like a little schoolgirl. Malcolm on the tape of the Autobahn during the whole thing says, wait now, wait now. Calm. Prepared to meet his maker face to face with dignity and courage. He gave you that. Political maturity, human rights, dignity and courage. Put your religion in the closet and make progress on behalf of African people, and you jump right back into your little silo and started playing tug of war. And then claim you respect and follow Malcolm. If I hand you a baton and you run the same way I just ran from, you not on my team. Bottom block banter. I passed you the baton in the zone. You ran out the zone. You out of bounds. And you running back to where I just ran. And now you trying to catch up. The race is over, man. We done lost now. Because you running in circles when you, instead of running in V circle, which is the route, man. Play with me, man. You got handed a baton facing a certain direction in a certain position at a certain rate of speed, and you stopped and started analyzing and talking and reinventing the wheel and doing your own thing and going the wrong way. I hear you, Malcolm, but I got to go against these Christians first. No, you don't, stupid. No, you don't. You need to figure out, just like they figure out, the one little thing they can connect on. We don't like black people. I'm an atheist. I'm a Jew. I'm a Christian. Well, I'm a Catholic. And I'm a this Christian. I'm a Quaker. But if we don't like black people, we're white. It's all right. Where's all the religious wars during all the time that all the religions was fighting for space in the... No, they were too busy just leaning on you, huh? They can collectively do that. They didn't get so caught up in religion that they couldn't keep you in bondage. If other people could do it, why can't we? Look at the whole idea about World War II, Axis and Allies. Different geographical location, different language, different system of economy, different histories, different culture, different more ways, folk ways, different spiritual systems, different. But if we agree that this boy with a little mustache is wilding, then we gonna all get together and crush the Nazis. I don't even need to speak your language literally. I don't even have to pray the same way you literally. Different religion, different continental landmass. We might be fighting each other when this is all done, and we both understand that. But for right now, political maturity, for right now, we're going to handle our business and then get back to the little petty debates. So I'm not saying you got to agree with a Christian. There's a difference between working with somebody and agreeing with them. Who are we talking nuance today? There's a difference between working with somebody and agreeing with them. We wrap it all up in one. I don't agree with you, so I can't work with you. No. I'm not saying that the critiques of the dogma, of the iconography, don't carry weight. I'm not saying the conversation about Islamic racism, with Arab racism in the Islamic world. I'm not saying these things. No, say all of this. Say all of it. Later. Don't say it while the babies is being murdered in the street. That's like that's like the stove on fire. Stove done caught fire. All four eyes are burning. The phone ring. The knock at the door. And you looking back and forth like, which one should I do? Which one should I do? Should I go answer the door first? The phone ring. Should I get the phone? If you don't put out that fire and look like a right-thinking human being and not some kind of fool. I got a beef with this brother because I saw he got a picture of the white Jesus. But Tamir Rice just got shot. Which one should I address? I'm going to make a video about white Jesus for 5 months. Bro, they didn't kill 5 kids, man. Let's pause on the white Jesus debate. Right? Or at least prioritize. Do both videos. Don't kill our babies video first. Then make it 24 hours in a day, brother. You ain't got to stop nothing. But the priorities seem to be just out of whack right now. We don't even got watchdog groups. We got groups that set up for debates in the conscious community. We got groups set up for rap battles, URL. We can get everything together. They got whole businesses, whole cultures, whole subcultures. Where's the subculture? All we got is Black Twitter. We need to codify that in some LLCs, some incorporations, some nonprofits. We need to watch people. We need to get some grants from some of these used to be racist that claim they're not racist. They need to pay for some of these watchdog groups. Now I'm talking. Ford Foundation want to give $10 million? Start a watchdog group called Black Twitter Eyes, where people are paid like a ransom. The people who can first identify the people who commit these crimes and they get their jobs taken, you can get a bonus. You know, they get reprimanded, you get a bonus. You identify somebody previously unidentified, and then they face some kind of charges. It could be incentives for people that are just home alone with nothing better to do. Let me see if I can get a racist fired, because he can be committed some kind of crime. You catch somebody. Forget telling on people in our community, telling people trying to kill our people. Let's give them accountability when people don't want to get their badge numbers and all that and be like, well, I looked up on the database. I see their pictures. I know who that is. Facial recognition. I got the software. Whatever, man. Like, that's what we should be about. Let's be about some things that could bring about some real changes. Because a lot of people claim, well, we built our empire on racism, but we're not racist anymore. Well, prove it. Cut a check. We need real watchdog groups with their own security. So when I go out and film the police station, I need a security detail. So you can go talk to my lawyer who's part of the detail, and then if you try something slick, we got guns too. Not just a man outside with his camera to get grabbed up like we see on all these videos. But these are kind of think tank conversations. We have something called the Molefe Kete Asante Institute. It's a think tank in Philadelphia, Germantown Avenue. I'll put the link in the thing. We've had everybody from Kwame Nkrumah's daughter, anybody who has something to say for the people. MK Institute. I'm gonna give y'all all of this. Boom. BMKAinstitute.com. Y'all got to log on to this, because if you have in the Philadelphia area online, a lot of times we'll have stuff online, broadcast live. The MKAinstitute.com. There's only like 3 black think tanks in America, man. And that's why I'm trying to encourage people to start thinking more like this. Think about how can we change it, not how can we get that one person. Yeah, we want to get Amber Geiger in Texas. We want to get David Parnall here in Philadelphia, Officer Parnall. If I'm not saying his first name right? I'm sorry. David was one that got murdered. I'm sorry. Yeah, he killed the young brother. Young brother was running away, hands out running, and he shot him in the back. So I think it's David Parnall. But either way, We want people, but we want to have a systemic approach. Bottom block. Can't prune the problem. Let's get to the root and get it right. That's what think tanks do. Think tanks draft policy and initiatives and plot strategies, like the Project for the New American Century, for instance, which later major parts of that became the Patriot Act, when they started talking about 1,000 Points of Light, College, Gentle America, and New World Order. You know, that whole Project for the New American Century with Wolfowitz and Rumsfeld and Cheney, like all these people have been around even when they wasn't in power. They was writing and planning. You know, when the Democrats were in power, they weren't sitting by the, twiddling their thumbs. They was like, yo, this is what we're gonna do when we get in power, put it in place, this is how we're gonna do it. And what we need to do is say, Barr is in power, he needs to get this bar, needs to get put out. Sarah Huckabee Sanders needs to lose her job. She has no credibility with the American people. Her only responsibility is to speak truth from power to the masses of people. And if the mass of people cannot, should not, and will not trust her, then there is no logical reason why she should continue in that professional capacity. See how I said it? That's what the books is for. The books ain't to get around my cousins and them and act like I'm smarter or better than my people. The books are to utilize my skill set to help to liberate and free my people and be an added voice for my people, not to speak on behalf of my people at all times, but to give them the agency, to give them the wherewithal and the words, and sometimes the confidence in certain spaces. And if I end up passing the bar one day, then literally you will be the voice for your people. That's what you do it for. It's only a measure of success when you come back and deliver to your community and those that built you up and got you where you are, or even made it possible for you to be alive. Success ain't you driving no Ferrari and being on the west side of wherever with some big condo. That's just escape. That's not success. That's escape. Sometimes escape is commendable under certain circumstances, but if there ain't no reconnaissance mission, then you're just a traitor. And we're not on the same team. I'm Aaron Smith, the rap professor. Text Queens to 31996. Stay in the mix. Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, do that there. FlyNubianKingTV.com, FlyNubianQueen.com. Listen live, or later on if you catch it, you get live going. But shouts out to all of y'all, Carl, Tony, Tiny, Ms. Free, everybody in the chat room. TheRappingProfessor.com. I put that last video. I said, where's you? I got a little site, but I don't be on it like that. But it's all good. Sometimes people want me to come out and do commencements and all that stuff. I be doing a lot of speaking, so. I don't do that for that, so I don't really go too hard with the promoting. I got a job. I'm all right. Boom. That's me, my whole life. Love y'all. It's all good. Aaron Smith on YouTube and all that other stuff too. We everywhere, even if they never there. So they're going to have to fill me